Hello, I'm Vishala Sripathma, live on the BBC News Facebook page. I'm here in the Royal Borough of Kensington and Chelsea in London, just a few hundred yards there from the Grenfell Tower, which at the moment looks like it's got smoke coming out of it. We are not allowed anywhere near the tower. Police have created an exclusion zone about half a mile around in terms of the radius, so this is as far, or as close rather, as we can get. Now we're going to be on here for the next sort of 5-10 minutes talking about the day's effort to try and help those people that were caught up in today's atrocities, and also those people that are looking for loved ones. There's been a real effort today from local council and as well as local volunteers. From about 11 a.m. I've been here and been talking to residents who have all really come together to try and help people that have found themselves literally stranded. So I'll be on here for the next 5-10 minutes. If you have any questions or comments, please let us know. I'll be answering any questions through on our Facebook Live. And joining me now is Latifa from Muslim Aid. Latifa, you've been here from about 7 a.m. So it's not just the Grenfell residents that have been affected by this. Surrounding towers were evacuated as well. They've just been told that actually they're not able to go back to their homes tonight. Most of them having to find alternate accommodation as well. What do they do in that situation?
Well, it's been a very distressing morning, as you can imagine, very emotionally difficult. Many families have been here at this refuge space that has been set up by the local authorities, crying and waiting on news for their loved ones, and the uncertainty of where they're going to go has been very difficult. We're working here at Muslim Aid with other local charities and also with other British NGOs, including the Red Cross, to identify safe spaces and shelter spaces that can be offered by the community, and we've seen an overwhelming amount of support and generous donations coming forward, and also people offering to support the local community. This is a tragic event that has affected all of us.
Latifa, we talked then about people being displaced. We had some questions through. Tyler asking how many people that lived in the building will be displaced, and also how towns outside London can help in the long-term rehoming people.
Well, at the moment, all we know, because the police are still carrying out their investigation and many families and victims are still at the hospital receiving treatment, that 250 people were actually in the building, and we will know over the next few hours, I imagine, exactly the extent to which those individuals will need housing. I know local councils who have been here this morning have been taking registrations of people down, but local buildings that have been evacuated will definitely need support. There is on social media lots of updates via the London Met Police and also the various emergency services on the shelter situation. I would say that communities at this time, we need to stand in solidarity. We definitely, if you have space that you can provide in terms of a shelter space, because this would require long-term support for those who have lost their homes, to definitely offer that to the local council and to get in touch with their local council, who are most likely working in coordination with the London Emergencies Trust.
Okay, so they get in touch with their local council and then that can then feed through to you. Yeah. What other help do you need? So clearly people need to be given a room or given some accommodation, presumably in the short term. But what other sort of help do you need? So
one of the long-term things that we're doing with the British community and coordinating this with other charities is identifying long-term accommodation and shelter that can be provided, and also helping those families who have lost loved ones with emotional support. That's critical. We actually have people of different faith backgrounds here who are coming to support those families who are going through a very traumatic time right now. We've had an outpour of donations in terms of food and hygiene, and these are some of the short-term needs, but I think over the next few days we're going to be able to see exactly how much is going to be needed to actually help the residents and the community here, who are definitely having a very difficult time this morning.
Just had a question through from Ruby, who says, where can she make a donation?
Well, there is at the moment a page called launchgood.com, and if they go to launchgood.com/Glenwell Tower Fire. That's launchgood.com, Grenfell Tower Fire. They will be able to make a donation, and that will be shared with the London Emergencies Trust, and that will be distributed amongst the local charities and the mosques and the churches and synagogues, all of the community organisations that are providing the much needed support to the local people right now.
In terms of emergency services, I've had a question through about whether there's been enough resource there to deal with this. What's your sort of view of that?
Well, I think we've definitely seen this morning that the emergency services have been incredible. I mean, the London Ambulance Service have been absolutely stretched. The London Met have been absolutely stretched as well. All of the emergency services have done a phenomenal job. They do definitely need support, even the local councils here. I think that if people do have expertise that they can offer, definitely you're welcome to get in touch with them. They are quite overwhelmed, of course, and I think as the needs become very clear over the next few days, we're going to be needing to provide support to this community in the long term.
In terms of survivors from Grenfell, are they overwhelmingly women? Are they overwhelmingly children? Or is it a mix?
Well, at the moment, from this morning, mostly I have seen from reports that it's women and also some children. Unfortunately, some children have passed away in this fire, which is very tragic. We're seeing a number of families coming out, and also elderly, and I think that's very important. We will only get to see the actual figures and confirmation of those names as the authorities confirm them.
And being outside the centre earlier today, I saw some emotional reunions.
Yes.
And those are the only scenes that I saw really outside. What have you witnessed today?
Well, it's been very emotional inside the actual trust centre. Lots of women, actually, particularly from women from the Arab community that live here and have family that live here, have been crying and have been praying. And this has been a time in which they have really needed a lot of support emotionally. So we've been there to try and reassure them that in time details down of the people that are missing, and many family and friends are still trying to contact their loved ones, and the local hospital is of course doing as much as possible to try and provide that information.
So we've heard that 5 hospitals in the area have taken people in. Now it's quite late on the day now. Are they aware of where their relatives are, if they are indeed in hospital, or is that still quite a logistical challenge?
Yeah, that's a massive logistical challenge because all the names have been taken from this morning and they are still being taken. I imagine some of those families have been reunited at the hospitals. Families who need to get in touch and will need to find out about their loved ones should get in touch with the Casualty Bureau.
Okay, thank you very much, Lucifa. So it's 4:43 local time here. The fire, I think the first call was made this morning roughly about 1:45. And as I pointed out earlier, there is still smoke coming out from the building there. Talking to sort of various people, various residents, councillors, volunteers, they think it'll be a long time before they can confirm casualties, the total number of casualties affected. Well, that's it for our Facebook Live today. I'm Vishal Sripathma, BBC News.